This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Hey everybody, it's your old pal Rob. Welcome to another War and Pieces. Today we are going to be taking a look at Almoravid. I butcher everything, but it's I think the thing that really comes here, this is the second in the Levy and Campaign series by Volko. We all know him from the Coin series. We live in a very unique time, and I want to talk more about that at the end of this video. I want to just show you the board and some of the pieces and just talk a little bit about this. If you played Nowitzki, then you know that you know pretty much how to play this. It really works great with two players more than it does as a solo experience. So if you're gonna go pick this up, make sure you have somebody to play. I think you just get it in your collection anyways, and I will talk more about that at the end of the video. We're gonna go down. We're gonna take a look at the absolutely beautiful components. I mean, I don't show you everything, but I did want to talk about a few things. I want to take a look at this beautiful, beautiful board, which just really stands out. This is just GMT at its greatest, and how they just stand out, and they are head and shoulders above just about almost everybody else. And why they're the leader, and why wargaming is still thriving in a very unique time. So not only that, but you'll have to take Volko into that situation as well, as to why board gaming is as popular as it is. So let's go down, take a look at stuff, and then I want to come up and I want to talk for a little bit. So I wanted to take a shot of this beautiful board. Just like Nowitzki, just the quality is through the roof. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, from one of the geniuses of board gaming, it's just an incredible board. You're going to find that rivers and lakes don't come into play in this, just like Nowitzki does. They really don't have the effect here. So that's one of the big changes that I noticed about this. And of course, you know, it's different because you have Jihad and all this other stuff. You're going to get beautiful player aids and stuff like that. Of course, the cards are top quality. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put this camera down and then talk about this a little bit more. Like I said, beautiful board. Of course, you're looking at it upside down. You're going to have your Muslim cards and, of course, your Spanish cards. And the real fascinating thing about this is how this system, and this is the second in the Levy and Campaign series, where it covers a lot of the medieval fighting, and I find that very interesting. This is from, I believe, from the 11th century. So, and in this period of time, of course, you know, it's Spain and the Muslims, and of course you got to have El Cid. I mean, what's the point of playing any of this if you don't have El Cid involved in this in some way? In a nutshell, if you played Nowitzki, you're going to understand this and be able to wrap your head around it. It does feel different though, and this does not do very well solo. You can play it solo, but I really suggest you play this with two people. You're going to get, of course, you know, your beautiful books, of course, that explain everything, your introductions, familiarizing you with some of the different terminology that you're going to go through. Again, just well done by our good friends at GMT. I mean, they just knock it out of. I'm stammering because this is just such a fantastic game. But again, you know, it's the Christian and the Muslims, and it's a very interesting period of time. It's fascinating that Volko would take this and really make this into what I consider a real masterpiece. I mean, we are living in an age with a modern master, and that's one of the things that I really want to get across. You're going to have different campaigns, or you can play the whole campaign through. You're going to have your background book. It actually gives you some examples of play. It tries to give you a little bit of a solitaire, but I really suggest you play this with two people. Strategic tips. Your player aid card, that's going to break everything down as far as your turns, and it does a fantastic job of that. From starting at the arts of war to pay, disbanding, you're going to go into a muster phase, a call to arms, and then breaking down the campaigns. Jihad, of course, you know how that comes into play. Beautifully done, explaining the steps of battle, slash storm, how a round works, your materials and stuff like that you're trying to do, how you're going to pay the Lord to stay in certain places. I mean, and then your political aspects, done beautifully by our good friends over at not Miniature Market. You can get this at Miniature Market, but from GMT. They just do a fantastic job. I mean, this is just absolutely put together beautifully. Like I said, I wasn't going to explain the rules or anything like that, because if you've seen Novinsky, the video that we did, and also if you played Novinsky, then you're going to have a great idea of this. Like I said, there are some minor changes, but nothing too extensive. I more want to talk about the Volko, who really just sets things apart. So let's go up top, and we'll finish up here, and we'll get on out of here. Like I said, I wasn't going to show you a lot. I wanted to just really give you kind of an overview of how beautiful everything is. This is a must-have. And the reason I say that is you're living in a very unique time. Kind of like in the time that, if you really think about it, when Michelangelo was painting, nobody really paid attention at that time, or some of the other great artists in their time period. You don't realize that probably one of the greatest designers is making games for you right now, war games. And if you're a war gamer, this is one of the best times when you can cross over and touch people who normally don't play war games, or being introduced to them. You're breaking out these coin series by Volko. Now this, the Campaign and Levy series, where it's 11th century medieval. You would think, okay, that sounds boring if you're just somebody that doesn't play war games. But the thing is, this artist makes these games interesting. This is a man ahead of his time, and he's creating these beautiful and fantastic experiences. You take somebody like Candace over at Board Game Geek, who wasn't a war gamer, but boy, when she got introduced to the coin series, I remember sitting there at a dinner with her, and we were talking about Fire in the Lake, and we were talking about a few other things, and I gave her some suggestions, and that kind of set the hook, and she hasn't looked back. But you don't do that. I mean, you can suggest all you want, okay? You could tell somebody to go play, all kinds of different things, and it may not take. It takes a great designer to really make it worldwide and appeal to everyone. And this is what Volko does by putting these games out there, making them easy enough to understand, to play, and yet teach you a history lesson, and all in the same breath. This is a modern master of his art. Okay, he is a modern master, and if you don't see that, shame on you. But again, this is my opinion, and to be honest with you, I think this is a very, very special artist that continues to design things that keep on pulling people and help keep wargaming alive. Okay, and I think when you have somebody like this, and believe me, there's a lot of great people out there. I don't want to, cut the Mark Hermans or the Herman Luttmans of the world, but what he's been able to do has to be celebrated, and GMT sees it and does a fantastic job with it, and I have to tip a hat to him. This is another great game where he just breaks barriers. So, GMT, Volko, thank you very much. A tip of the hat to you to another masterpiece. And until next time on War and Pieces, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon, everybody.